Welcome, everyone, to Detroit Media Outlet. We have a very special guest here with us today, Alejandro Salinaz,
Yo, what's going on, man?
also known as Alejandro Knows. How are you, man?
I'm good. Great actually.
That's awesome. Well, I'm very happy that you're here. And, I just want to dive right into this and ask you, I know you're all about fitness, about teaching people about fitness and stuff. Where
hmm
where did that come from? Where did you, you know, where did it get all started where you made the point where you're like, I want to teach people about fitness and help other people out?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So it kind of all started just, obviously we've both been athletes our whole lives.
Yo,
And after high school, I went on to keep playing soccer. And, I'm not a big individual. I'm, a smaller person, to be honest. And it was like, how do I get better at this? How do I stand out? And it was like, oh, I should get physically fit, build muscle, be stronger. And doing that for soccer and sports, it was like I kind of just fell in love with it. And it was like, wow, I'm feeling so much better. I'm looking so much better. And I was like, I wonder if I could make other people look like that, And I was getting questions and asked, like, how do I do this? How can you help me? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Let me see if I know what I'm doing. And it kind of all branched from just being an athlete and wanting to better myself. And then it shifted into, I don't want to be an athlete anymore. I want to be a coach. I want to be someone that can better other people. And it slowly just built from there from, okay, I'm helping myself. Now I'm helping some friends and families, some other athletes that I play with. And then it was like, wait, I can make this a job. And then, I got a job as a trainer. And then that's kind of where it was like, wait, this is what I do now. I'm not this, I am this. I am a coach.
that's dope. And, because a lot of people, we get into fitness or, they're very physically, but they don't go out of their way or they don't want to help others.
Yeah.
They kind of want to gatekeep or keep everything to themselves and kind of, you know, these are my, I'm fit and everyone else is, got to catch up or not up to me. But no, that's a really good thing that you go out there and you help people and, make their lives a better place because health is wealth. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's got to be one of the most important things. So that's a really awesome thing that you do. So right now, you said you're like a fitness coach and stuff, and you a health coach and everything. So you have clients and stuff that you
Yeah.
help. What would you say is one of the biggest challenges you see some clients face? Some people who haven't gotten into fitness before, or something like that.
Yeah, so I would say, a big thing the general public faces that's challenging or, hard for them. It's just finding the time to do it. And we live in a society that for so long we've been told that like you need to eat less and cut out all this stuff and do this and do that. And there's this sort of stigma behind certain ideals that just aren't real anymore, that don't make sense, that aren't backed by science. And so for the general population, it's figuring out what's fact and what's not, and then finding the time to do it and the energy because everyone works, right? We all have jobs, we all have kids, families, whatever it may be. And it's what do you want to put your efforts to after you've gotten home from work and after, you've dealt with the kids and enjoyed family time. And it's figuring out how to make that work in your life. And I think with the lack of energy and time, that's people's biggest challenge and understanding what's real and what's actually going to help them get to their goals, right? Because depending on the person, you don't need all these things and to do all this stuff. It's very simple stuff that can really get you to your goal, and it's figuring out what that is. And I think that's something that people struggle with. It's just not knowing what's going to work for them because they've seen so much bullshit for so long that they don't understand what they need to do for themselves, and that just takes away at their time and energy because now they have to search for it and figure it out, and they don't know what's right and what's wrong.
I I think that was very well said because I think the normal person. I feel like if you are an active person, like we both played sports growing up and stuff, and we continued to stay active, throughout our adulthood as we've been going. But people who have never really, I feel like people who really never got into fitness when they were younger and stuff, it's just a whole different world to just jump into the gym or
Oh
say,
yeah.
I'm going to start lifting weights or I'm going to start, eating healthier, doing this. And the honestly, the two biggest challenges I face with personal fitness, I would say, maybe you could help me out with a couple of these, is number one is eating. Okay, I always felt like I just eat whatever I want, and I'll just work harder in the gym and sweat it off and stuff. And that worked for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As I got older, though, it kind of slows down a little bit. As much as I could be doing the same workouts I did 5 years ago and things like that, but it's not burning the same amount of fat, or it's not getting me to the same results I used to get. So that was one of my biggest problems. And then another problem I had, what was it? Is just going maybe finding the time to do stuff. As our lives get busy and we're more adult and stuff. I feel like finding the time to work out and stuff. I think that's probably the second biggest thing that I had.
Yeah, and taking both of those questions, right? Like the first one, not knowing, well, like, can I eat whatever I want? And realistically, most people, if not everyone, can eat what they want when they want and still reach their goals, because everyone has this ideal that our lives need to revolve around fitness, but that's not the case, right? If you can just have fitness revolve around your life, you can continue to do what you do, continue to eat the way you eat, and still look and feel your best and reach your goals. So navigating food, it comes down to simple things. It's eat foods that are going to benefit you, that are going to be nutritionally dense, and do that for 80% of the day. And then 20% of it is eat whatever you want. If you like cake, eat it. If you like cookies, eat it. If you like to go out and have big, juicy steaks, have them. Like if you want pizza, go for it. But if you look at your day and it's like, well, for about the whole day, I ate, good food. I had fruits, I had veggies, I had, potatoes, ate lean meats, fish, all these things that are going to promote health, and I'm getting my protein in. And then someone calls you and goes, yo, you want to go out to eat? And you should be able to say, yeah, because the rest of your day looks so good. So it's not necessarily like, what do I need to eat? It's just like, well, you should eat whole foods, fruits, veggies, meats, nuts, things like that. Get your protein in, and then you can eat whatever you want
Also
after
do
that.
what you want too.
Yeah, and that's the easiest way to go about it, because again, we want the fitness to revolve around us, not the other way around. And as far as finding the time and the energy for it, what that looks like is, well, how much time do you have, right? If you have 30 minutes, well, then we need to figure out what works in that 30 minutes. And whether that's, running a mile and doing some air squats and sit ups, that's fine. It's dedicating or loading time to certain things. And it's like, okay, I know that every day I have 1 hour where I can do whatever I want. And it's like, well, what do you want to do in that hour, right? Do you want to go to the gym?
Do you want to better yourself? Do you
Yeah.
want to just laze around? It really comes down to
Yeah,
the
it comes down to
individual.
that. And then it's okay, we need to figure out a process that gets you to want to better yourself more than you want to sit on the couch. So we need to figure out what your favorite type of way to move is, or work out or exercise or sweat. And if that's running, do it. If that's biking, go for it. If that's getting in the gym and doing dumbbell only workouts, boom. It doesn't have to be all these things. You don't have to do, weights 5 days a week. It's really our goal, or, what my goal is, or ideal is, everyone should be doing something that's going to benefit their health and make them exercise and move and allow it to fit into their life, right? You don't have to crush the weights if you only have 30 minutes and you want to be a runner. Go run. Like, go do that, just make sure you throw in some air squats here, some push-ups, and you'll be okay. It's just figuring out what you can allot to a certain amount of time, right? It's like, what are you going to do with that hour, and how do you want to do it? And then go do that.
That's a great way to put that. Thanks for helping me out with that. And I think to go with the food thing, I think one of the main problems I had too was like meal prepping or things like that, is because I've never been the type like to measure out my food or anything like that. Like I tried before. Like I made a meal prep I think for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Made like 3 meals a day. I put it all in the little
Yeah.
Tupperwares and everything. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna eat these three. I think the first day I ate like half the week's food. Uh, and I was like, all right, this isn't gonna work. So no, that's a really good advice. And I think for people, especially in Michigan here in the Detroit metro area, as it gets colder,
Right.
I can say for myself, I'm a yearly sufferer of seasonal depression.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm an outdoorsy person, and even though I go outside in the winter, if I want to go camping or something like that, there's nothing like just going outside and doing an activity, playing volleyball or soccer, just going for a run, moving around and stuff. So I think like during the winter time, people could really use some help, like what to do during
Yeah.
the winter.
Yeah, the winter is definitely tricky. I'm also someone who like suffers from anxiety and depression when the colder months come around and the sun's not out, because I am definitely a body that likes to move, and that's what I revolve a lot of my day around, is being active and physically able to do things. So when it comes down to it, good ways to combat that is, always making sure you have steps in play, right? When the weather starts to get cold and you don't know how to combat this depression, it's okay, well, what puts you in a good place, right? What are some things that you really enjoy that don't involve you moving at all? right? Like, what music do you like? What shows do you like? What do you like to journal? Do you like to draw? Do you like art? First, figure out those things, right? What brings peace of mind without you having to leave your house? And then from there, it's okay. I want to move my body. I want to be fit. It's cold out. What can I do now? Because physical activity is great for depression. It's great for mental health. It's great for
100%.
anxiety. It's do you have a gym membership, right? Is the gym not for you? Do you have like a YMCA membership? Is there any activity that you like to do? And can you do that in the winter? Sure, it might involve you getting in your car and going somewhere, but it's figuring that out and having something dedicated to that. Like, do you like to rock climb? Okay, well, downtown has a bunch of rock climbing places. Go. There's so many ways to be physically active in the winter. It's just taking the time to figure those out. But I always would say start by figuring out things that don't involve you leaving, right? Because you need to enjoy things that don't involve you going out. So again, if you like certain music, if you are an artist and you like to draw, it doesn't matter if you're good. You should have hobbies and things that bring you happiness and joy. And if you can figure those out first, that's the step one to combating, that winter depression or the fall blues, whatever you want to call it. And then from there, it's okay, I need to move my body. What are my favorite ways to move my body and where can I do that? And if you know those things, you can go do that and help yourself.
100%. And I like that you mentioned that too, because it sounds like we talked a little bit about mental health and, as much as you probably teach people about their physical and stuff like that, mental is, probably 50%, if not more of it.
Oh, yeah.
Just to be motivated to get up, to go out there and to do stuff, it's, I think everyone's been in the gym or done a workout, like a half-ass workout, and it's, you're still going there, you're still doing it, which is good, but you're not mentally there, or you're thinking about other things while you're doing it, and it just takes away from the experience and from your progress too. So
Yeah, no, the mental health part is huge. I would say it allows to almost all of it. That's a huge percentage of what you can do. And the people I work with, again, we're focused on your physical change and your nutrition and eating better and working out. But if we can't fix the way you think about it, then we can't get you to do those things, right? Because you have a belief that this is what this is and this is how this is. And if it's right, great. But if it's not, we need to break those beliefs. So there's a lot of mindset work that I do with people, and whether that's journaling, whether that's affirmations, whether that's having power lists, scheduling, understanding what they believe is right. And if it's right, great. If it's not, how can I go about helping them change their mind? Because you can't just look at someone and go, that's wrong, don't do it. They're going to be like, fuck you mean that's wrong?
exactly,
Like, what?
exactly.
Why is it, So it's asking questions and making sure that I understand where you're coming from. And then I have to figure out how I can give that information to you that you can easily intake it and be like, that makes sense. And then it's slowly adding things into your day, because the mind is very powerful, and there's a lot of belief breaking around fitness and nutrition and mental health that I need to focus on with someone if I want them to do the things that are going to make them better. Because if I just tell you eating chicken is good for you, you're going to be like, yeah, but I've been eating cookies and I feel fine. It's like, okay, we got something we got to do here. Hey, you seem to be lacking whatever it is. And they're like, I don't know. I don't feel that way. And it's like, okay, how can I give you the information to help you? So yeah, your mindset is huge when it comes to this. And that's honestly the biggest thing in my coaching. It's breaking beliefs, changing your mindset, improving your mental health and mental stability. So that way you can do the things that I'm giving you. Because I can't give you and expect you to follow things if there's other things in the way that come from the mind.
That sounds that sounds really nice that you take that personal touch with the people you work with, to better them. So yeah, anyone looking for any fitness tips or looking to get in shape, this is the guy right here. So where can we find any of your information or your socials and things like that?
Yeah, so I'm very consistent on social media. So as far as Instagram goes, it's Alejandro_knows. Facebook, just my name. TikTok, same thing, Alejandro_knows. I try and post daily as ways to help people, right? Something that's easily digestible, something that can help you, whether it's just walking more or doing workouts in your home, giving nutrition advice, because it's something that everyone deserves. So yeah, social media is usually the best place to find me, and I'm always trying to better everyone as much as I can on there with whatever I need and I believe people are struggling with, because there's so much out there that just isn't right. And I'm trying to make it right one day at a time, one step at a time, one person at a time. And that's my overall goal is how many people can I help and feel like I do, or feel how my clients feel. And that's that's what makes it worth it for me, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. It really sounds like you're doing God's work out there. So
I'm trying. It's a lot, I'm definitely in a position to do it, and it's kind of crazy. You bring that up. It's like every time I feel like I'm not doing the right thing, or I'm like, man, I need to, get a different job, or I need to do more. God kind of puts in my lap like, here's 5 more clients here, and I'm like,
boom,
man, this is what I'm supposed to do. I can't quit this.
it's your calling.
Yeah, it's my calling. So it's kind of crazy that it's just like this keeps falling in my lap. And, as long as I've been doing it, I still get that like self sabotage where it's like, I'm not good enough. I don't do enough. And then, I wake up in the morning, I look at all my clients, I go, shit, no, what do you mean? You're doing great.
I
Like,
got people to help.
there's people that believe in you, and you need to make sure you continue to believe in yourself, because this is your job. Like, this is what you do. So, it's all just like, again, we talked earlier, a full circle. It's like, I feel a certain way, and then all of a sudden I'm blessed to look at, all these people that believe in me. I'm
Boom.
like, damn, I really am doing the right thing. Like, they wouldn't have been with me this long if I wasn't. And that's just, super awesome to think about like that.
That's a great feeling. Yeah, I got the same feeling when I was when I was coaching soccer for about 7 years. And, I never did it for the money. Just, I mean, we got paid for it, but it wasn't anything like,
Yeah, no.
it wasn't anything special. So, but just the joy of seeing the little kids learn or, get fit or just score a goal. I would get more excited than the parents, than the kids themselves. Us both playing soccer, you know how it is. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
to see that,
It's exhilarating.
to see that, it's really, I can empathize with you when you say like, when you see the results and stuff, that's what you're doing it for, because
Yeah.
it's 100%.
Yeah, and it all comes from a passion, right? I mean, hopefully, or when you're fortunate enough to do things that you're passionate about for a living, and you help other people grow or find that passion, like, that's just, you feel so good
You can't beat
inside.
that.
If like thinking about a kid, it's like they score a goal and you're losing your mind because you know what that feels like, and you're able to help someone feel that. And that's how it is, with what I do. I know how it feels when I do these things and how I feel when I do them. And when I start to teach people and coach people on how to do it, and they, message me and go, oh my God, like this magic thing you have going on here. I'm like, it's not magic. It's you're putting in the work, but I know what they're feeling. And I'm like, man, you just filled my cup up like all the way. It's overflowing.
There's no
right
better
now.
feeling.
There really isn't. It just comes from deep down. And it's those moments that drive you to want to keep doing certain things. And when everything might seem like it's going wrong, you get a message like that, or you see a moment like that, and you're like, whoa, that was fantastic. I've been on calls with people where like literally tears will run down my face because they're telling me that like I'm changing their lives, and not, if you told me 10 years ago, like I'd be changing people's lives like this,
This is what you would be doing.
yeah. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like what, and that's what it is. And it's so fulfilling, and it makes you really appreciate it. And it's just, connecting with people. There's no better thing out there than that. And helping those people figure out what they like, it's even better because you know what it
100%.
feels like. You felt that, and now someone else feels it, and it takes you back, and you're like, man, I remember when I did that and it felt like this. That's great. I'm so happy you're feeling it because I know where you're coming from right now.
Wow. Yeah, no, there's no better feeling than that. So I wanted to ask you, with your fitness goals and everything, what is your end goal with your teaching program and stuff? Like, do you want to end up having your own gym? Do you want to end up having, like a certain amount of clients or something like that? Where do you see, like, do you have like a certain kind of end goal, like something you want to, be the final, where you finally feel like, all right, I accomplished it.
Yeah, that like I made it kind of thing. For the longest time, I thought the only way to do this was to have a gym and brick and mortar and have people come in through the doors. And that sounds fantastic. And, being a part of a gym that I go to where it's like that, and it's like, this is beautiful. Like people line up to be here. That was the goal, but not as much now that I have found, this online space. I would say my overall goal is to, almost step away from the coaching position and grow my business and my coaching to where I'm more of a CEO, right? So I have, coaches under me that I'm teaching how to help people. And I think that's the best for me because my overall goal, right? My motto, what I want to accomplish in life is allowing as many people or helping as many
100%.
people feel good about themselves and be happy with what they see in the mirror and have health and long lasting lives where they can play with their kids, and be for their grandkids and watch people grow up. and just live a happy, healthy life. That's my overall goal. And I think the best way for me to do that is obviously I can't do that by myself,
The
right?
more
Yeah,
coaches you have, and the more people you put on and teach, because it seems like you got it down. Like you have a very solid foundation on how you want to help people and stuff. The more people you could teach to do that, it'll just multiply.
e-
Say you have 10,
exactly.
10 coaches under you, and they're all doing what you've been doing. Boom! Now you could reach thousands of people instead of the hundreds that you've reached and things like that. So
Yes.
that's a great plan.
And that's the exact way I want to go about it because again, if I can help 100 people, well what if I had 5 coaches that can all help 100 people? And you got to think when you help someone, they ultimately help someone. I have clients that go, "Oh, I'm going to run you out of business. I'm helping my friends now." And it's like that's exactly
That's
what we
what you
want,
want.
right?
Yeah, I'm not.
That's what I want.
You're
Do
not
it,
against that.
take
Yeah.
me out of business. That'd be amazing. So if I can, bring on a team and step away and teach other coaches how to help other people, my reach goes from 100 to like you said 1,000 and then 5,000, 10,000, and that's the ultimate goal. It's helping as many people as possible feel and look their best and be happy with what they're doing with themselves physically, mentally, nutritionally. So yeah, the goal is to step away, be that CEO, bring on more people to coach people and just grow this thing to where it's like you can take your health and fitness to another level without sacrificing everything you love. That's not health and fitness. That's bullshit. You need to enjoy it
100%.
and it needs to fit into your life. And it's how can I make that happen for you? And I think that's my goal.
And that's amazing, And I think the thing you keep mentioning about kind of integrating the workouts and fitness into your life rather than fitness being your life, or that same thing goes with a lot of things like work and family and things like that. It's like you don't want your life to be about that. You want it to be integrated into your life. So fitness is a part of your life. You're not all about fitness where it's like I got to do this, I got to do that. So, this is my identity, this is who I am. I think it's important. Or same thing with work. You have your job, you're like, I'm sure we've all met people who that's,
Oh
their
yeah.
work is their
That's
personality.
it.
It's like how are you doing? It's like, "Oh, work is going great." It's like,
Whoa, I didn't even
"Oh,
ask that.
how is Alejandro doing? How are you doing yourself?" So, same thing with fitness goals. I've talked to people. It's like, "Hey man, how you doing today?" It's like, I just hit a PR.
I'm getting fit, man.
That's all I care about. It's like, whoa, man. But no, that's a great idea that you have
Yeah,
that.
I think that's the most important thing because for so long it's just like, and with social media growing, you see all these people, and you've heard for so long like fitness needs to be your life, and this is all I do every day, and it's like great, that's all you do, but the general population, that's not what they do. They have jobs, they have kids, they have families, they have hobbies they enjoy, they have friends they want to see, and if you can't take health and fitness and give it to someone but make it revolve around their life, then you aren't helping anyone. Because anyone can drop everything and just be like, I'm going to focus on one thing, right? It's like,
Yep.
I'm going to go to work, I'm going to come home, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat right, and then I'm going to go to bed. It's like, that's not hard. That's easy to do. But it's like, how can you still do that and enjoy everything else? How can you stay
100%.
healthy with your family, your job, all these other things? And that's when you've achieved, fitness and health. That's how you bring it into your life. Because again, if you just, it doesn't help anyone or I don't help anyone if I'm just like, yeah, if you just do chicken, rice, and broccoli and meal prep 5 days a week, you're good. It's like that didn't help you. Now your life revolves around this stuff, and that's not health. That's not fitness. It's the other way around, and it's integrating it into people's lives where it's like enjoy it. Just if it comes about, great. If you can't go to the gym today, who cares? If you can't, if you had to have a pizza party for your son, great. I hope you ate the whole box because,
Right.
Tomorrow, guess what? Just go for a walk or something. Or, later in the day, get on your bike and move. Just allow yourself to be aware and mindful of these things. And it's like, okay, I know that I did this, so I should probably, do this to help myself as well. Because you need to enjoy your life. And then you also need to make sure that you do the right things to enjoy it long enough. And that's your health, right? Taking care of it. And then you'll
100%.
go forever.
Longevity is definitely important. And I know we talked about social media a lot. Would you be open to do any collaborations or anything like that with other fitness people in the area? Because I know Detroit has a lot of different people that kind of go about that thing and things like that. So would you be open to like kind of doing like a collaboration with anyone or kind of like teaming up to do videos, things like that?
Yeah, it's crazy because just the Metro Detroit area, me personally, I know tons and tons of people that do what I do and want to better people. And, I wish I could connect with all of them. I wish I could pick everyone's brains. I wish I could, talk to everyone and be like, yo, we need to team up and we need to do this because for the most part, a majority of coaches, their overall thing is helping as many people as they
Yeah.
can. You know, it's
The good ones.
yeah, the good ones exactly. And you know, I would love to allow myself to be open to all of them, and you know, collab with them and get, you know, their ideas and show them off just as much as, you know, I show myself off and, you know, have my ideas. Because at the end of the day, if you're a good coach and you care about people, that's your number one goal, should be helping them. And if, you know, you have resources that I don't, I'm pointing you in that direction, right? Like, I have so many friends that are coaches, and if someone comes to me and I'm like, if I'm not your vibe, here's 10 people that I trust that could be your vibe. Go find them.
Boom.
Go talk to them. Because I don't care if you work with me or if you work with you or, you know, 10 other guys. It's like, as long as you are benefiting yourself, that's what I care about. And, you know, so yeah, I would love to collab with as many people from the Metro Detroit area as possible, because there's people in their niche that might not like them that could like me. And there's people in my niche that
Could like
probably
them
hate
more.
me and love them, you
Yeah.
know? And it's, how can we connect each other and connect our peoples to be, you know, and find what they love. And again, it goes back to what I want to accomplish. It's allowing as many people to feel and love themselves physically, mentally, nutritionally as possible. And if that's, you know, taking 10 coaches and be like, yo, let's collab, then that's what it is, you know, and that's how it works. And so, yeah, I would love to collab with all the coaches and trainers in the Metro Detroit area. It's just, you know, hard to find them and hard to get a hold of them and actually be like, yo, like, I want to help people, not just use you for whatever you have. It's, you know, and that's what it comes down to a lot of time. It's hard to collab and connect with a lot of coaches because there's a scarcity mindset behind this, but you got to think, we're one person and there is millions of people out there,
Yeah.
right? Like, you're never taking from me and I'm never taking from you, because there's endless amounts of people out there, and it's just who vibes with who fits with who. It's like connecting puzzle pieces. It's just, you got to find your match. And if this person wasn't going to work with you or work with me, what if we flip the script on them and it's like,
Boom.
yo, here's this person. They're like, oh my God, I love him. And it's like, well, guess what? I just did my job. I allowed another person to find what
I
they
found you
love.
something that will work for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. And it doesn't have to be me. So yeah, collabing with people would be fantastic, because it just opens the doors for more people do what we love, and that's health, fitness. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great attitude to have. So I wanted to, one more thing that we do here at Detroit Media Outlet. We always ask our guests to give some free game to the kind of industry that they're in. So like, if you could give us some free game on people who just want to get into fitness or want to like better their, if they're into fitness but want to like take it up a notch or anything like that, why don't you just spit some free game for the people out there of Detroit to hear?
So first off, you know, if you don't know where to begin or you don't know where to start or you're in it and you want to get better, always find someone in your area or someone on social media that you like and can trust and ask them questions. Because whether it's me or any other coach, I'm pretty sure we would answer and love to hear from you about all of your questions. And then the next thing there is start small, right? There's so many little things that we have to do to get to a certain goal, and not any one of them works by themselves. So if I was like, yeah, you should hit 10K steps, it's like, okay, that's a great place to start. If you can walk more and that's your way, boom. Now do that consistently, and then add on the next step. So I would say wherever you're at in your journey, it's figure out what's going to benefit you the most. So off rip, right? There's a few things that you can do. It's walk more, 10K steps, right? That's going to help you burn calories. That's going to help keep you healthy. Drinking more water, staying hydrated. You should be drinking at least half your body weight in water in ounces. Eating more protein. So for every pound that you weigh, eat that in grams of protein and keep it lean. Lifting weights, that's going to build muscle. Muscle is going to help your bones stay stronger. It's going to allow you to sit on the toilet when you're 85. And then sleep. There's 5 things right there. I'm not telling you have to start with any one of them over the other, but your best thing is picking one of those that you believe you can nail
And work on
it and continue to do it until all of a sudden 2 weeks later, you're like, every day I drink a gallon of water. And it's like, okay, cool. You've been doing that for 2 weeks. What can you add to that?
Now we're going to add on the steps.
Yeah. And now walk more. And then
boom.
before you know it, sure, you didn't, lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks, but at the end of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months,
You're seeing the difference.
It's like, dude, look at where you started and look at what you do now. Now you do everything I just listed. And I think that's the best place to start. It's pick one thing that you know you can do and do it every single day and be consistent with it. And once you've found that you can be consistent and you know how to work that into your schedule, work another thing into it, and figure out what that is and then go. And then before you know it, you were doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have 5 things you're doing and plus whatever it is. And that's what's going to get you to your goal. It might not be fancy. It might not be fast, but it's going to be, able and sustainable for a long time. And that goes back to longevity. We're here for the
Yeah.
long game. If you can do something for a year, oh my God, and it's good for your health. What if you continue to do that for 5 years, 10 years?
Boom.
You're a superhuman now. That's what it is. So for me, it's find something that you can do easily, do it consistently for a certain period of time, and then add on to that. And then also ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. There's so many people that can help you. Let them help you. Ask them the questions. They're not going to tell you no, or they shouldn't if they really care. And so those are, my two things. It's do the little things and do them for a long time, and reach out to people if you have questions, because that's how you get what you want.
100%. No, I couldn't have said it better myself. But I really like that you focus on things that are reasonable and sustainable, because, I mean, everyone's heard about, oh, lose 10 pounds in a month, do this, do that. But, you're going to, even if you do lose that 10 pounds, you're going to gain that right back. So it's really not, it's not plausible, or it's not healthy for you at the end of the
No.
day. So no, that's very well said.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. It's finding things that are easy for you and convenient for you, and doing them. Because again, so we'll go to nutrition, right? If someone comes up to me like, yo, make me a meal plan, I want to lose 10 pounds. It's like, I can make you a meal plan that'll make you lose 10 pounds, but you're not going to learn anything, and you're going to hate it
Yeah.
because you're going to eat the same thing. And then that goes to what happens when those meals aren't available and you're not around to get them. Now you have no idea what to do, right? And that's a huge thing. It's figuring out how I can teach you how to do these things and make them simple and allow you to do them wherever, forever. And
Yeah.
that's how you win. Because again, there's the 75 hard. Let's do 75 days where I only eat the same thing all day. It's like, yeah, you'll probably look great. Or it's like, let's do this. It's like, but what happens when
After.
you don't? Yeah, what happens after? What happens when you don't have it available and you can't? Then you're screwed. And that's not it. That's not sustainable. That doesn't work.
That sounds like the saying, like, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but teach him how to fish and he'll eat forever.
Yes,
He'll
literally.
learn just how to eat for the rest of his life.
That's
so.
exactly what it is. And if you look at your health and fitness like that, you will win always, and if you're a coach and you do that, that's how you get people where they want to be. Sure, it doesn't give you the 3-month change where it's like, hey, look at what this person did in 90 days. And it doesn't, blow your sales through the roof. But guess what? You're helping that person forever, and that will come back to you tenfold, right? And
100%.
that's the thing. It's the simple stuff, and make sure they can do it. Teach them how to do it and let them do it forever. And then you're winning at the end of the day.
Awesome. So Alejandro, is there anything that you want to let the people of Detroit know before we head out of here?
Yeah, my biggest thing, again, I mean, that's what this whole thing was about, talking about it. It's, love yourself, love the people around you, be curious, ask questions. When you don't know something, reach out to someone. There's so many people out there that know a lot and are willing to help. And that's a huge thing. Because for me, day to day, people be like, oh my God, I was so scared to reach out, or so scared to do this, or I hear it all the time. It's like, why? Everyone here wants to help. Like, we are creatures of communication and being with each
100%.
other. So I always say, reach out, help someone. If you have questions, ask them. Focus on your health, focus on your fitness, want to look your best, want to feel your best, but do it in a way that makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, if you're happy, you're going to do it for a long time. So that's my biggest thing. It's find something you love, crush it, do it, ask questions about it, have other people do it with you. There we go. We're all good. We're all happy. The world turns that way.
I love that. Well, I want to thank you very much, man, for coming here and getting the chance to talk to us and the people of Detroit. So, thanks.
I appreciate it. This is awesome. When you hit me up, I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course I'm in.
Let's do it.
I love connecting with, again, we went to high school together, old friends. Like, doing things like this is great because, it's something you're passionate about. And if you're passionate about it, I'm going to bring my passion onto it and help
Boom.
out. There you go. People
Awesome.
helping people, man.
Awesome. Sweet.